Hello, this is Alan Redman with Streamline Landlord Service. This video is going to be covering our DocuSign feature, and we are going to be releasing that in early 2026. So this feature effectively allows you to upload a PDF, any PDF, and the typical use case here would be a lease. And you can upload your lease, and what we'll do is add all the tags into it and everything so that we enable the document to be signed as a DocuSign document. So I'm going to give you a quick demonstration of that right now. So first things first is I've got a new account here. All I've done is add one tenant. I haven't actually done anything beyond that. So we'll go into Rental Documents, Manage Blank Documents. And first thing we need to do is upload a file into here. You notice I've got this lease.pdf here. I'm going to upload another file. I'm going to call it lease for two. Um, and basically this is just a PDF file that has, no legal documentation. It's just used for demonstration purposes, but it's got a place for a landlord to sign it and a place for two tenants to sign it. So kind of simulate a lease. So what you would do as a user is you'd come in here and upload your file here to the Manage Blank Documents. Then you're going to set this to be eSignature. And then we're going to say, yes, we're converting to eSignature. And then what happens here is that's going to send us at Streamline a message to go and do something. We're going to look at the document and get that all set up on DocuSign servers. And then we'll let you know when the document is ready. And I will go through that process right now, and this video will pick up in a minute when that is all complete. So I will be back in 1 minute. Okay, so I've gone ahead and done the updates on the back end that need to happen. So this lease for two is now ready for use. So what we would do here is I'm going to run through two examples. The first is going to be a prospect. So we've got a prospect here. And let's say this Mason Copeland here, this is a new prospect that we have, and he's going to be signing a lease with us. So what we can do is go Action, Documents, click this green plus button here, and we can attach a file. So we're going to attach this lease for two. We can see this is an e-signature. So let's go Attach. Now, this is the list of documents for a prospect. So what we can do is either send all documents to Mason, or you can send an individual document. If there were more than one document here, that would make more sense. But what we'll do here is we'll go send e-signature document. And now these are parameters that need to get injected into the DocuSign. So these are some just default ones that I added. I added a date, an address, a rent amount, a first name, a last name, and an email address. Now you'll notice here, I called this file lease for two on purpose because that means two people can technically sign this lease. So there's space for two people. I'm going to go through an example with two people after this. But for now, we've just injected his information here, Mason Copeland. Here's his email address. And we'll give him an address of just 123 Main Street. And his rent amount, we'll just put 1,000. So now we're going to send this document. So we'll click on the Send Document button. And then what's going to happen here is that's going to send, first is going to be the landlord. So I've got all the email addresses up here. The landlord is going to get this email from DocuSign saying, hey, have a look at this. So we click Review Document. And now we've got a DocuSign document, and you'll see what I mean about it being a test file in just a second here. Sure. Allow all that. So as you can see, I've just made a very simple file. In reality, it would be your actual lease, right? But the reason why this goes to the landlord first is you can confirm, okay, the date looks correct, the address is correct, rent amount is correct, because these are all getting injected into the file, right? Because this is a template. If something doesn't look correct, you can go back into the documents and cancel the e-signature request. Or, assuming everything looks good, we'll just click the sign button, adopt and sign. There we go. And now we hit finish. So once the landlord has finished, I'm going to just give this a second, close that, and then I'll delete this. Now coming over to the tenant gets this sent to them. So the tenant now is reviewing the document. So the tenant comes in here, again, agrees to all this stuff, and we can see that the landlord signature is already there. And then this is where Mason would put his stuff here. So Mason Copeland looks good. We're going to sign, and we'll just say, yeah, Mason Copeland, adopt and sign. And we'll click finish. Now, once these are finished, you're going to get an email from both Streamline servers as well as from DocuSign saying that, hey, this document has now been completed. So we can do that. You can download this and view it. You can also view it through the Streamline interface here. I'll just do a quick refresh. Looks like it's still waiting to come back, but effectively you can download the document right there and kind of view it from that perspective. So the landlord has it and the tenant has it. And when you convert Mason over into a tenant, so if we just go convert to tenant, that document will come as well. So you'll get that. Let's see, this, yeah, there we go. It got completed from, this is from Streamline, and then this one's from DocuSign. So let's just have a look here. There we go. We've got eSignature complete. So if we go download and then we look at it, we can see there's my signature and Mason's signature. And of course, again, that's a test file. Yours in reality would be a lot more complex, but that's effectively how we do a DocuSign. So I'm going to pause the video here and get things set up to run with two tenants on a rental agreement. So you can send it and have two tenants sign. So I'll be right back and we can go from there. Okay, and I'm back. I've just set everything up to now run it with a two tenant example. So all I really did was I converted Mason over to being a tenant. And then I also have this tenant, Janice Knox here. And I've got them both on the same rental agreement. So they're either roommates or living together or whatever. So they're both in the same unit. So what we can do here is in the rental agreements, we've got the rental documents. And again, you can attach a file. We'll call this the lease for two again. The original one that was signed came over here. I just deleted it a second ago just to keep this nice and clean. But we can see this is an e-signature document. It is not sent, and we're going to go action, send e-signature document. Now the same parameters come up. We've just got the default start date is today. Address, this is the address, the default address on the rental agreement. That's why we can fill this in. Same with the rent amount. If you recall, on when it's a prospect, we don't have these because we don't have a default unit or rental amount. So we've got the tenant's first name, Mason Copeland, and his email address. And then we've got Janice Knox and her email address right here. So we can go send documents, and that will send. And that's going to go to the landlord first, again, so that the landlord can confirm that everything looks good. So what we're going to do here is review the document. Agree. And this time we can see here's this information, here's Mason Copeland, and then here's Janice Knox. So again, we've injected this information. We're going to sign it because it looks good. Again, if it doesn't look good, you can always cancel. Go finish. And then that's fine for there. And then we'll go over to the first tenant. So now the first tenant gets it. And if we go over here, we'll notice that the second tenant hasn't got it yet. So the first tenant signs it, looks at it and says, yep, this all looks good. So Mason will sign again. This is where we got to before. Here we go. We will finish. And then at that point, Janice over here is going to get the email. Janice signs it now. So we go here, we'll go continue. We can see the landlord has signed it Mason has signed it, and now Janice comes in and signs it. And that's all there is to it. Everybody's going to get emailed the full signed document from DocuSign, as well as you, the landlord, will get a notification that it's all signed and everything. Just give this a second to update. But once this is completed, it just takes a second, you can again come in here and download it, right? And if, for example, if one person signed it but the other one forgot to or whatever, you can come in here and resend the e-signature document, which would resend it to the person who hasn't signed it. Right now, this feature is only being released kind of on a per client basis. We just want to make sure that everything works perfectly fine before releasing it to all our users. So if you are interested in this feature, please let us know. And yeah, we can get you set up and start trying that out. And please let me know if you have any questions on this. We will definitely walk you through getting everything set up. But just to remember, all you really need to do is upload a blank document into here, change it to e-signature, and then we will take care of the rest. We'll reach out to you to make sure that we've got your document signed up as you want. Yeah, that should be everything. So if you have any questions, please reach out to support@streamlinels.com. Thank you.